Hey, good morning. Good morning. And I am very impressed that you are here and that you've shown up to be able to have a great experience here for us to be able to talk about what is going on in the world today and how to mentally and emotionally prepare yourself. And when we get started here and we're going to get moving on and talking about what I'm going to suggest to you what to do to be able to get your head straight and be able to manage yourself, we're going to want to, you're going to want to take some notes or get your phone out so you can take some pictures of my screenshot. And so what we want to do first, though, is we want to check in and make sure that technology is working here this morning. And the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is give me a raise of hands. Now, I know some of you are listening in by cell phone, but those of you who are on your computer or iPad, or maybe you're watching by your phone, at the bottom of the screen, okay, there's like already a ton of you doing this. At the bottom of your screen, there's a button that looks like a hand. Click that button and that raises your hand. And then now you know that I know that you know what I'm saying. Like you can hear me and the volume is working, you're here. So, okay, super cool. And I just want to make sure that all technology is working. So I'm not like talking to the blankness out there, right? Okay, so super good. I just saw a whole bunch of people click the raise the hand button. So that was super good to see that. Now, the next thing, I'm going to lower all the hands. I'm going to lower all the hands now. So I got a button on my side to lower all the hands. Can you see a picture of the curvature of the earth with my statement on there about thinking and inspiration? If so, click the raise the hand button so I can see your name fly across the screen. Because every time you click the raise the hand button, I see your name pop up and I see you. I see you. I see Emily and Tony and Kevin and Adam and Aaron, and I see all of your names pop across the screen here. So right now, if there are people who can see the screen and the volume is working. So if something's happening on your side, it's on your side. That's why we check technologies, so you know if it's me or if it's you. Okay, then the last part here to check in is a little video screen of Kirk. Do you see a little video of me? There's like this little tiny little thing, right? It's like this little miniature Kirk on the screen. You see me here in my office? Okay, super cool. Awesome, awesome. And then I'm making sure that this is being recorded. I got that going. I see your names going across. There's Wayne, Nancy, Beverly, Bonnie, Heidi, Nina, Candy, Luis, Chris, Ken, Tracy, Carla. I'm just seeing, oh, so good to see you here this morning. And then let's check in on full screen. Hey, what's up? Good morning. It's Kirk. And here I am in my home office coming to you this morning and very excited to share with you. I've been thinking about this a lot. Like what really is going to be the most important thing for us to discuss? Because I know from stage, because if this is your first time meeting me, I do a lot of training, a lot of seminars here in Salt Lake City. And for the last couple of years, I've been mentioning from stage how important it is to be able to manage your emotions in case something happens in the world. In case something happens, and here we are. There's something that's happened, right? Something's going on, and people's emotions are up. Their emotions are coming up, and there's a lot of different things that these emotions are causing. And that's what I want to talk to you about is like, what do you do so that you can stay mentally, focused and to be able to be inspired about what to do as you're moving forward as an individual and as a couple. And also if you have a family, you and your family. Now let's talk. Okay, we got to jump right into this because I want to have some time here to answer some questions and to be able to have some dialogue with those who want to talk and share. And let's work through some things. So I've got to adjust my screen here just a little bit. Give me just a second as I make that adjustment. Here we go. Okay, so you're going to see some things move around here really for just a second. Just hang tight as it moves around. And there we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. So you saw the same screen. So for those of you who have not met me before, My wife and I are the president and vice president of 3 Key Elements, and we are a mentoring and training company that started and was established 15 years ago. And through our own personal experiences and also the education we have gained, we have learned how to manage ourselves better, and we've learned how to improve our lifestyle. And we have thoroughly enjoyed sharing with other people how to do the same. And at the root of what we teach, it's all about self-management and self-mastery. And all of this work here is so that we can be able to be in a place to think, just like I mentioned on that quote in the very beginning of the screen. Because you never know when you really need the ability to think, because that's different than reacting, right? That's different than reacting. And you see here on this screen as I show, what I mean by thinking. Let me just get myself an arrow here so you can see what I'm talking about. So on this screen, there's 2 very important parts of this that I know will make a difference in your life. The first part is this word think. Right now I've seen people reacting. I've even caught myself reacting to what's happening. And when I caught myself reacting, I noticed that my thoughts got scrambled and that I was thinking I got to hurry to the store and buy a bunch of everything. It's like I was like reacting to what I see other people doing. And I've been reminding myself and doing the steps that I'm going to teach you here today, doing the steps to go, wait a second, let's think. I need to be able to think, because inspiration is the ideas of what to do now. Of all my wisdom, of all my experience, I want to be in a place to be able to think and have the best ideas come to me so that I'm doing the best things for me. Because with this virus, and here in Utah, we just had an earthquake the other day, and it's like, what is going on? And Africa has locusts all over the place. It's like all these really weird things are going on in the world. And I got to keep myself nice and clear about what's going on. So let's start out with how you keep your head clear and focused. Now, this would be a great screen to take a picture of. I'm going to walk through each one of these and explain them. But this would be what, if I came over to your house right now and we were going to sit down at the kitchen table and have some breakfast together, this is what I would be sharing with you and checking in to make sure you're aware of this, and that you can do at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 of these if you could. If you can do all of them, it's even better. But let me give you some insight here of what I'm doing and what I know others I've shared this with that they're doing to be able to keep themselves in a good place so that they can think. Thinking is much better than reacting, because reacting can get you all spiraled into whatever direction. And we survival is important, but it's like, whoa, hold on. We're not completely in survival mode here. We just need to think. What do I need to do? How do I take care of my family? How are we going to keep ourselves from contracting the virus? How are we going to help our children calm themselves, or our spouse or our friends? So let's talk about some ways here to be able to not only calm, but to be able to stay focused. So number 1, it's very, very important with all the thinking that's going on and all the stuff we're hearing. We as human beings, we have 2 ears. So we listen to a lot, but we also have a mouth, and we need to talk about what we're thinking and what we're feeling, especially with your family. With your family, super important to gather them and have a conversation about what they're thinking and what's going on in their feelings. And if you don't have a group of people that you're with, or a family, and you don't have anything to talk about, then what you do is you grab a pad of paper or a journal and write down, or get on your laptop and be like, whoa, guess what's going on in the world today? And that for you to be able to write down your thoughts and feelings. Now, the reason for this, it's expression. When you hear a lot of information and you don't express those thoughts and feelings you have, you will get bottled up. And I'm going to show you after I go through this right here, I'm going to show you what bottled up looks like. Bottled up, not good. Not good at all. So you want to be able to find a way to express, either talk to the people around you or write down or type what it is you're thinking and feeling. Now, if you're going to hear me on this, I'm going to say this is a daily thing. This is a daily thing because you want to avoid getting bottled up. And like I said, I'm going to show you a visual on a diagram what that means when I say bottled up, because that can totally, getting bottled up can totally block your ability to think, comprehend, make good decisions. So now when you get together to talk, you're not talking about all the freaky things. You're not trying to make each other scared. You're just talking about what you think and feel. It's not, you're not trying to like scare each other. You're helping each other, calm and be okay. Okay. Number 2, this is dynamic. Anytime that there's ever been some kind of intense situation or any type of experience that is beyond comprehension, music is a great way to be able to turn or change the way you are feeling or processing on the inside. And now there's listen and or sing to music. And this whole thing about number 2 is to be able to help you stay fluid. I know that kind of sounds weird as a word right now. Like, what does fluid mean? But I'll show you on the diagram how things can get stuck. Because if you are not fluid on the inside, your energy, your thoughts, your ideas are going to get stuck. And then when you're stuck, it's going to cause you to panic or get super scared. And so be able to listen to music and just whatever fun music you like or whatever calms you or helps you, soothe what's going on in the world. But this is really important because like every day when I sit down to my computer to do work, I am playing music because I am not going to get stuck. I just don't want to. I know what that feels like. And I've already seen and talked to people who I know who are stuck. Okay, number 3, be able to think. Sometimes we just need to like map out a plan, like, hey, here's how much food we have, or here's how many rolls of toilet paper we have, or, if something were to happen, like here in Utah, if another earthquake happened, what do we do? Where are we going to go? And if you don't know how to make these kind of plans, what you do is you ask others what they're doing, go text somebody, call somebody and say, hey, what do you do when there's an earthquake? Or what do you do when this happens? And be able to gain some ideas and education of like what kind of plans you could make. Because right now phone lines still work, right? The phone still works, internet still works. So you actually are in a place right now, you could add some education. Because I know just the other day, Kim and I we're there in the morning and we're talking and then all of a sudden I hear this noise and I look at her and I jump up and she's like, what is that? And I said, there's an earthquake coming. That's the sound of an earthquake because we don't have train tracks around here. And that sound of that train that's coming, that is not a train. That is the earth moving. And she looks at me and she's like, what do we do? And I'm like, because she had just gotten up, right? And I'm like, you need to get dressed because we might run outside because we want to get outside the building. And so I took off to the front door, and our lanterns on the wall are starting to swing and, oh my goodness, standing in the house. And just now, if you live in California and those places, you guys know what this already feels like. But to feel the house like just kind of twisting and just kind of like, it felt like I was on a boat on a lake. It didn't feel like I was standing on the house on the ground. It felt like I was standing in the boat. Boy, immediately my brain is like, what do I know about earthquakes? And then I'm looking on the internet, right? Like, what do you do for earthquakes? What do you do? And so number 3, in this time, you get smart. Get smart. You start to learn about soaps and cleaning and how to wash your hands and how to keep your surfaces clean. Like you learn. You don't just sit there going, what do I do? You think, and thinking means learning, so that every time you go to read something and add education to yourself, it builds confidence in who you are, and it also builds clarity. Okay, so we're up to 3. Number 4, this one's another one that is super helpful that can make a big deal for you. When you get nervous or worried or scared, what happens is you start to get uptight. You know, you guys, you just start to get tight, because scared tightens all your muscles. Nervous tightens up your muscles, and anxiousness tightens up your back and your chest. Like, your brain is dumping chemicals into your body, and it's tightening up muscles because it thinks it needs to run. It thinks it needs to do something. And it's like, no, calm down, calm down, calm down. And you can like try to like mentally calm yourself. But if you leave your body tight, then it still has the last memory of run, or, you know, escape, or we should do something. And those muscles being tight keep you scared, keep you nervous. So whenever you were listening to the news, or if you were around the area when we had the earthquake and the aftershocks, it can cause you to get uptight. But now that that's happened, you got to stretch those muscles out. Because if you stretch, what happens, your mind will be more open and clear, and you can be flexible. You physically can be flexible. And when you're flexible, you're adaptable, meaning you can adapt to the current situations. And so right now, I know that you probably have some muscles that are tight in your body that are still keeping panic and fear and worry and scared still locked up in your muscles, because those chemicals were dropped into your body and tightened up to those muscles. And you didn't run down the street screaming. You know, you didn't do anything. You didn't use those chemicals that got dropped into your muscles. And so you're tight. Now, here's some areas to pay attention to. Stretch your neck. Because as soon as things get weird in the world, you're tightening up your neck, your shoulders, and it tightens up your neck. And when you tighten up your neck, psychologically, you get really honed in on one idea of how things are supposed to work. And so when you keep your neck flexible, what happens is it gives you that openness of learning and listening. So that's why you want to stretch your neck, the left side, the right side, the back. And you just gently start to stretch your neck. And then calves. Your calves are like, the muscles are there for you to be able to like spring forward or like take off running. And if those are tight, boy, if you even start to try to stretch them, you might feel like, whoa, these are like rock solid. Like, what's wrong with these? And you'll notice how tight they are. Not only the calf muscle, but like from the calf down to your heel can get super tight. And that will keep you energetically in a place of worry. Who would have thought, you know, like your muscles being tight would do this to you? Then you got your lower back. That's just part of the whole experience of like, I got to do something. But if your lower back stays tight, what happens is you actually start to feel weak. And that weakness, because your middle back is your halfway point of who you are. And when your lower back is tight, you actually start to feel weak, like you can't do something. And a lower back that is tight, you actually lose confidence. Calves that are tight, you feel like you can't move. A neck that's tight, you feel like you can't think. So can't think, can't move, don't believe in yourself, low confidence. That's like, you're kind of getting like paralyzed of what you can do. And then I know I wrote butt, but I don't know the muscle. I don't know the name of the muscle, but it's the muscle that goes from your knee, like the side of your knee, the outside of your knee, along your outside, and then it goes right underneath your hip bone, and it connects to your tailbone. I know I could have looked that up, but I forgot to look it up. So sorry, I just wrote butt there for the morning. But that muscle that goes right along your backside, right below your tailbone, your hip bone, up to your lower back, that one gets super tight. And Kirk, how do you stretch that one? Well, you kind of like sit on the edge of the bed, turn sideways, put your knee up, you kind of turn your leg, and then you lean over your knee, or here's an easier way. When you're sitting in a chair, cross your legs, grab your knee that's on the upper part of crossing your legs, and then pull that knee towards you. Then you'll know what muscle I'm talking about. So you're sitting there, cross your legs, grab your knee on the top of the crossing of the legs, pull that knee towards you, and you will feel this muscle right down the backside of your leg. That one, you want to keep that one loose too, because that right there is all about, having personal energy and power to move forward. If that gets tight, that can help cause you to feel shut down. Crazy, huh? But it's so true. And then your hands will get swollen or tight whenever you get afraid, scared, worried, anxious. Your hands will feel like they're swollen and they'll feel tight. And also your feet, because your hands are like, I can't do anything. Hands have to do with doing. And then feet have to do with standing strong or having a solid foundation on believing in yourself. And so these two right here, if they get tight, you just really literally lose the whole concept of I can do something. You feel like you actually can't do anything. And so these are great, great, great places to stretch your body so you can stay flexible. Now, if you're terrible at stretching, well, then have somebody in your family help you massage your neck, your calves, your hands, your feet. And your kids help massage their feet and their hands. Feet, hands, and neck. And even your little people, just the little tiny kids, your 1-year-olds, your 2-year-olds, just gently massage their neck, gently massage their hands, and gently massage your feet, and notice how much happier they are. If you have a child who's scared or nervous or worried about what's going on in the world, you massage their neck, their feet, and their hands, and you will see them calm down, and you will see happiness come back into them. You'll just see them feeling lighter. It's beautiful. And then your spouse, if they're all uptight and they're scared and they're nervous and everything, and you keep saying, hey, we need to calm down. We need to be okay. And they won't. Massage their neck, massage their hands, help them with their feet, massage their feet. And you will see them go, oh, I'm so much better. It's so instant. And that's what we need right now, is we need this awareness that this actually does help us, because most of us don't think about how our thoughts and our emotions then trigger our brain, and then it triggers our body, and then we don't unwind the body. We don't unwind it. And so super good, number 4, and for you to do it, and then to help your family in having them do it. And then you can have people, for that butt muscle, you can say, okay, sit in the chair, cross your legs, pull your knee towards you, and they'll be like, ow, that hurts. I know, we're going to stretch it. So stretch to keep yourself flexible. Flexible is adaptable. And in the world today, we get to learn how to be adaptable. Like, oh, hey, there's no school. Okay. Oh, look, the restaurants, you can't go to restaurants, sit down and eat. Oh, okay. Hey, this store's closed. This ski resort's closed. This is closed. This is closed. And it's like, whoa, never seen this happen before. And some people are not being adaptable, and they're getting uptight, and they're having issues, and they can't sleep, and they're panicking. And it's like, whoa, let's massage that out so you can think. Okay, number 5. I know you probably already read this, but number 5. Limit the social media. If you're on social media, your head's getting full, and it's yanking your thoughts around in so many different directions, because some people are, writing memes and stuff like that, and putting pictures and quotes out there that are hilarious, but then there's also stuff that just twists your mind around back and forth and up and down and sideways. And it can kind of scramble your brains. Just be careful. Don't overdo it with what's going on and what everybody's passing around. And there are people passing around information that's not true. Not true. So pay attention to that, because you can overload your thoughts. But at the end of the day, see this right here? At the end of the day, take a moment and disconnect. My son Cody was sharing with me that, what's the singer's name? John Mayer. I think that's who he said. John Mayer was talking about some things. So this is John Mayer's point of view, is that he said, you know what? At the end of the day, disconnect. He says he goes into his bedroom and he shuts the door and he just disconnects from the world so he can calm down and just relax his mind so that he can stay peaceful. And I heard that. I was like, oh, I love it. So sharing there from John Mayer, I hope I made sure it was right. I said the right singer there. But to be able to quiet back your mind and get back to thinking, because we as human beings are so intelligent. We're so capable. We're so capable to adapt to the changing of the world. We're adapting. So with the stretching, with the thinking, the listening, and the talking, we're getting to this place. And remember, if you're watching the news or you're on social media and you feel the anxiousness and the overwhelm, too much is too much. Turn it off. You don't have to stay plugged in all the time. Don't worry, it'll be there tomorrow too. They just keep repeating the same things over and over again. You won't miss much if you give yourself a break. And you'll hear some people who say, oh, I got to just watch all this. And it's like, no, you don't. Don't do that. Too much is too much. You can drown from it. You can emotionally drown from it. Overwhelm is the verge of drowning from it. You have to be mature in this time and be able to go, okay, I'm reaching my limits. I'm going to stop. I'm going to give myself a break. And your friend or your family member may not have that self-control, and you get to step in and help them and go, hey, this is too much. You are freaking out and it's too much. I got to cut this off. You got to take a break. And that you'll see them kind of panic, like, no, I got to watch. And it's like, no, you're not. Get off this. Get off the TV. Get off the social media. Get away from this. You got to get away from this at the end of the day, or you are going to like drown in it. Because adaptable, what you want and what I really strongly have been seeing happen, and it's happening now in a big way, is we as human beings get to open up our ability to adapt. The adaptation of who we are is going to determine the survival of our existence. Any species that have ever survived has had to adapt. And those who don't adapt don't make it. Those who don't adapt don't make it. And so it's like, okay, let's do this. And everything I'm showing you here is how to adapt physically and emotionally. And I got more to show you here, but in just a moment. Then number 6, if this could be one you take on, emotional management. You know, whatever's going on in your head, write it down on paper. Your head starts to spin in a series of thoughts, and it spins and it goes from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And then it starts over, one to the next, to the next, to the next. And so if you write down the things that you're worried about, it helps you clear out your mind and clear the negative. And it's on paper. You don't have to think about it all the time. It's right there. You don't have to spin your thoughts about this. And so then it gives you a chance to like focus on your plans or listen to music or stretch or, you know, be able to talk to other people and listen to what they're doing. And so, but if you got your head spinning in worry about this and that and this and that and this and that, and you're worried about so many things, you're not thinking, you're spinning. And you know what happens when somebody spins over and over and over again? They get dizzy. It's not just a physical thing, it's an emotional thing. If your thoughts are spinning, they'll spin until they get out of control. And then as soon as they hit out of control, you will feel a very weird dizzy feeling, and you'll feel like you have to sit down or lay down or shut down. But that tells you that person had worry spinning through their head a lot. And the way you slow this down is you grab a pad of paper and you write down what's going on in your head. It's okay. It slows down your thinking. When you write down your thoughts, it slows down your thoughts so you don't get sick from the spinning. It's so true. It's real truth. It's real. Like, I'm not going to waste your time giving you some, cute ideas. These are like adaptation steps. And you get to be, because I know you're the one listening to me right now. You're the one paying attention. You get to be the one to coach, teach, inspire your family. First, you do it. Then you teach your family. And then you reach out to a friend and go, hey, what are you doing? How are you guys? And the friend's like, oh, wow, we got all this going on. It's like, hey, let me just help you with a couple of things. In fact, take a picture of this screen and just text it to them. Take a picture of this screen, text it to your extended family, text it to your friend, text it to your neighbor, and be like, hey, this is about how to adapt physically and mentally. Because you guys, the world's not going to go back to the way it was. We have changed. Everything's changed. The whole butterfly effect has happened. And what that means is, in the butterfly effect, what that happens is there has been something happen that now has altered the future forever. Once they started closing things down and shutting things down and altering the normal flow of things, it has changed. And there's going to be a ripple effect that's going to go on for the rest of our existence. We won't go back to the way it was. It now has forever been changed. And I hear some people say, well, I can't wait till we get back to where we were. And it's like, no, it's gone. It's gone. And if you're telling your kids, it's going to go back to the way it was, it's not. If you're trying to teach or trying to help your family or friends, like, it'll all be all right. We'll go back to where we were. We just got to get through the next month and it'll all go back to the way it was. No, there's been major impact happen. And we need to realize we are in an adaptive state to adapt to the changing of the days. And if we're trying to, preach and teach to the people around us, like, can't wait till this gets back to normal. It's not. Every business is being affected across the world. Every business, every major flow of systems have been interrupted. The government is trying to put money out there and we're going to put everything back to the way it was. It won't happen. There's no way you can have this major of an interruption in a system and regain the same system you had. And so this is where people are going to continue to worry and continue to panic. And so I'm not thinking, I can't wait till it gets back to where it was. It's like, no, it's over. The seasons have changed. And when it comes to the way things have been, the nice casual way that we've been living our life is done. We now are going to see things be different. The governments of all these different countries and all these different businesses and all this different stuff, it has altered our lives. And I know for me, if I can adapt mentally and emotionally and physically, then I am going to still do okay. I'm going to still thrive and still experience abundance because I adapted. But if I don't adapt, I'm going to continue to struggle and I'm going to keep falling behind because I'm still wishing it's going to go back. And your children wish that it will go back to the way it was. They will. And you are going to keep promoting that it's going to happen that way. It's not. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you're stuck too. I hope you're hearing me. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same because once this major impact has happened, it has altered the flow of things. And if you are not going to seek out how to adapt, you're going to continue to be uptight. bottled up. You're going to be physically, you're going to have challenges with ailments because of emotional, conflict on the inside. This is a really important conversation we're having this morning. Really important conversation. We get to be in the place of adapting, changing, moving with the changes, and being flexible and open-minded, and realizing that the flow of money, the flow of systems, the flow of everything is different. Not different doesn't mean collapse, because I hear some people saying that too, like, oh, everything's going to fall apart. It's like, no, we as people, we as a human race, we don't let that happen. It's just going to be different. But the sooner you can accept it's now changed, you'll loosen up, you'll stretch, you'll do some emotional management, you'll keep your mind open. And what is going to play out for us as human beings, we're not wishing it goes back. We're wishing and hoping that we can be open to receive and open to accept the new way of living, how it's going to be. And I care enough to do this morning and say, hey, stretch. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, stretch and be in a place of being flexible, like what I'm showing you here on the screen. And I hope that when you're talking to your family and friends is that you're promoting the adapting mindset. Because if not, from this point on, we're going to have a lot of emotionally racked children and emotionally racked adults. And that's going to cause some people to have their mind seize up on them, and they're not going to be able to think. And because they can't think, they're going to make decisions that are not good. And then that's going to be the collapse of their family. So when something like this happens, it's not that this experience is going to cause the collapse. It's the fact that the human being could not adapt. And that caused the collapse. So I hope you hear this. We as the people could cause the collapse because we were not flexible to adapt to the new ways. We emotionally were not taking care of ourselves. We were not managing our thoughts. And so you get to be the beginning source in your family to adapt. And that means all of your emotional attachments to things and your emotional attachment to life, it's going to be pulled apart. It's going to be pulled apart in one way or another. And so it's going to be reconfigured. It's going to be put back a different way. And if you can emotionally adapt, you'll be okay. You're going to be okay. Because we as people will pull it together and we'll build a new system and we'll do new things. And then we'll be able to move forward. But you and I both know from what's going on, it is if a person was stressed before the coronavirus hit and it's doing what's doing, and now earthquakes and all the stuff that's happening, if you had stress, your stress has been amplified. If you were frustrated, your frustration has been amplified. Whatever's in you during a time of impact, like what's going on, it becomes amplified. And so hear me, I'm going to plead with you that you learn how to manage your emotions so that you cannot be shut down as a human being. Like you can still move and make decisions and move with the changing of the times, and that you can adapt. That's going to be the biggest thing for you. That's how you and your family are not going to experience collapse. So what just happened with this virus, going through the people, and it's still moving through the people in all different countries. It still has a long ways to go before it moves through, however far it's going to move. It's not the last one, and it's not the last thing that's going to happen to us as people. But this has been a major wake-up call of like, wow, all this work I've been doing to manage my emotions so I can adapt is really paying off right now. It's really helping me stay focused and stay clear. So for you, you're really smart for being here this morning so we could talk about this, because I'm going to show you how to manage your emotions. But this is all the like talk and the reason and the purpose behind this. So not only learn from me, but also learn from wherever you can about how to manage self. That is super important. Now, give me a raise of hands, like click the raise the hand button if you get what I'm talking about. You getting what I'm talking about here about the adapting? Does this make some sense to you, right? Right? Yeah, it's like, what? And so because a person can't adapt, that's going to cause the collapse in their own life. But you don't have to have a collapse or a failure or a falling apart as a person or a family. If you can adapt, it's gonna be different. Okay, let's go back, and thank you for your response on raising your hands. And those of you who are listening, there's quite a number of you who are listening from phone too. Let's go back here to the screens. Okay, so we got through this list. Again, take a picture, forward to your friend, talk about this to your family, and encourage your children to learn. You be the teacher to your children. Hey, we're going to learn how to adapt. Well, mommy, what does that mean? Well, that means things are going to change. But mom, what about this? Oh, well, that might be different. That might be different. But mom, what? It's like, it's okay. But mom, and you see them emotionally react. Now you can teach them how to manage their emotions. So once you go to promote adapting, it brings up people's emotions. And just hear me on this. I hope you hear this. If somebody is struggling with adapting, you'll know because they're having an emotional reaction. It's very normal. Doesn't make them bad, but they're going to have an emotional reaction. And if they don't know how to manage those emotions during that emotional reaction, then they'll have another emotional reaction in another week from now. And they'll have another one in another week or 2 weeks from now. And so that's why it's important to be able to release and let go of these emotions so that they can finally adapt. Oh, I hope that makes sense. I try to say it like 25 times, but let me just show you this next picture. Here's this next screenshot. Now, here we have over here on the right side of the screen. Oh, sorry. I have got to go back to the other screen and bring my arrow with me. Okay, so there's my arrow. Let me put this here. Okay, so over here on the right side, here we have the coronavirus out there. You know, there's many people all across the nation. Different things have happened with shutdowns, lockdowns, confinement, you know, businesses. I mean, it's just crazy, all the things that are going on. So the virus is affecting all of us. The food shortage that's happening, it's like, where's the toilet paper, right? And some people find it, some people don't. Then earthquakes, I kind of split that word up. Lockdowns, stores closing. There's a whole bunch of things going on. And so all of this is pushing and creating these differences. It's just different. And it's stirring up afraid, worried, scared, anxiety, fear, overwhelmed. Just to name the top 5 or 6 emotions going on, this is all getting stirred up. Now watch how I demonstrate this to you. Just watch how I demonstrate this to you, that here's afraid. Afraid can get into, and this is you see this little family. Afraid can get into one of these people. So I'm going to take this little globular thing of afraid, and I'm going to put it in mom. So now mom has afraid, and that's in her. And mom now is feeling afraid. Now that she's feeling afraid, she goes to uncontrollably talk about afraid to her children. She doesn't like say, children, you should be afraid. The children just can hear it in her voice. So as she's shaky and nervous and the kids can tell like, whoa, something's up with the mom, this afraid then goes into the children. And it goes into one child, and now that child and that parent, they spread it to each other. And then now it also goes to get inside dad, and it goes to get inside dad. And now that it's inside dad and mom and the kids, then it goes and it gets inside the little person, the baby. And now look what's happened. They're all worried about getting a virus, but what they just did is they actually just spread the negative energetic source of an emotion. So they're trying to be really good and not get this virus, but they're spreading afraid through the whole family. They're spreading it, and they are not paying attention to the fact that they're actually spreading something that can hurt each other. This negative feeling of afraid, like they're not managing it. It's just spreading through their family, and now their whole family has it. And then now let's add worry. Okay, now dad's worried. Dad's like, I can't find the food we need. I can't find milk. I can't find bread at the store. So dad's worried. Then now dad comes home and the kids hear dad, and he comes home with this stressed out sound in his voice, and instantly his sweetie pie gets worried. And now dad and mom are worried. And now the kids hear dad and mom worried, and now they take on worry. And now they got afraid and they've got worried. And then the baby feels it and hears it. So this family is now reacting to a virus and school shut down and business being shut down. And maybe dad's going to lose his job because now the people can't pay him because they had to close their doors for a month. And so now but now what's happening is their family's being infected with these negative emotions, and they're not paying attention. And this negative emotion, you can't see it. Just like you can't see the virus with your own eyes, people are not paying attention to the emotions they're passing to each other. And then let's say mom gets on the phone and she calls a friend. And then now through the phone line, she spreads worry and afraid to the friend. Now they're actually spreading a different kind of virus, a negative emotion that now, because they're feeling this negativity, they can't think, and they're irritable with each other, and they're sharp with each other, and they're just, it's emotionally damaging, and it's going on in the family. And I can tell you right now, families are not paying attention to this. They're not paying attention to this because you see people. Kim, my wife, she went to Costco to buy some toilet paper, and she's watching these people and listening, and they just scream, and they're just emotionally out of control. And I know this is going on, and families are not paying attention to the other virus they're spreading, which is negative energy, which is going to hurt them. Because here, if they've got all this negative energy inside them, that's not going to be healthy. They're not going to be healthy. And that's just afraid and worried. And now let's take scared. Mom gets scared. Then she passes scared on to the kids. And now kids are scared and worried and afraid. And it's just these emotions are piling up. And you know what happens to a child who has negative emotions in them? Their tummies get sick. They don't feel good. They can't breathe very well. And then they get anxious. And then now the kids and mom are scared. And now scared, there it goes. Dad tried to be strong, and scared just now got onto dad. And when emotions stack up in a person, they literally stack up, meaning from their heart to their head. There's your heart, and then there's your head. And if they stack up, it can affect how you think. And so this is being spread around, and you probably are getting phone calls from panicked friends or scared friends, and they're just like, I got to talk to you. And you're hearing all this stuff, and it could be stirring you up. So yes, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and have social distancing, and manage your emotions. That is one thing I am not hearing anywhere in the media, is for them to say, we suggest to all of you to be able to learn some emotional management techniques so you can think. Notice it's not even being talked about on social media. Well, Kim, my wife and I, we were on TV on Tuesday. We're on TV telling people, you got to manage your emotions. This is a unseen, internal problem. These poor little kids are getting all these adult emotions, dumped on them, or they're feeling them, and these kids don't know what to do. They don't know how to manage these emotions. It's beyond their experience. And then they're going to have ailments. Negative energy of afraid, worried, and scared doesn't evaporate. It just doesn't go away. It stays here. It just stays inside of them. And negativity in the body breaks down the body. And we all know that negative emotions over time cause ailments. And it's like, yeah, we're all trying to hold it together, but we're all kind of spewing these emotions around and we're not managing them. So it's like we're passing around a virus that's going to hurt us in a couple months from now. In a couple months from now, when there's these strange other illnesses going on with kids and women, men, they'll shut down. We're going to see a shutdown of men where they're going to lose confidence. They're going to lose belief in themselves. And they're not going to know what to do in a couple months because they don't know what got in them. And moms are going to be like, man, something's up with me. I don't feel good. Because all these negative emotions are not being paid attention to. So you are hearing me. And don't worry, before we're done here, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Not just kind of what to do, probably too much information of what to do. So raise your hand if you get what I'm talking about here. Raise your hand if you're like, oh my goodness, Kirk, I get it. I see what you're saying, right? So I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball, but I am going to tell you right now, when there is these kinds of things that happen, the emotions get spread to the people and they don't do anything about it, but just spread them. And then what happens is in a couple months from now, when these new ways of living are established, we're going to see some weird stuff happen. We're going to see anxiety in children go up. We're going to see that children can't think. We're going to see that children have lost their confidence. We're going to see that dad's lost his confidence. I'm not saying this is going to happen to everybody, but you're going to see some weird things, and you're going to hear the aftershock of the spread of negative emotions. There's no way that this human race can have all these things go on and we're all going to be emotionally okay just by letting the emotions settle. Do you know what that means? When you let emotions settle, emotions that settle, they drop down in the body and they become dense. So, wait till this all goes by and it all settles down. Yeah, then dad has all these emotions settled down inside of him like, oh yeah, I was scared, like nervous for like 2 weeks, but now I've just let it all settle down. And the kids let it all settle down, and everything's settling down and everything's, we're all okay. We've all let it settle down. They didn't manage them. They didn't clear them. And then now they're wondering months and even a year and even years later, how come you have all these weird ailments? And they just think it's part of life. The human race does not pay attention enough to emotions. The only time they pay attention to emotions is when there's a breakdown or there's emotional blow-ups. Emotions that settle become a ticking time bomb, and they will either shut down the person or cause them to blow up at each other. And we may see an increase of anger. We may see an increase of sadness. Because one way for settled emotions is to act out or to blow up. And so now somebody who was kind of angry inside is going to be more angry. And when they have anger outbursts, it's going to be more intense. And somebody who's sad, they're going to find a deeper level of being sad, and they can't figure out why. It's because these emotions are stacked up and they settled inside the person because they were not removed during the outside conflict of what's going on in the world. So you can write in your calendar right now. It's March, April, May, June. And if this all blows over in the next month, which I don't know. And whenever it blows over and we're all going to go, oh, good, we're all back to normal. And then we all go back to work and we go buy our groceries. And now there's toilet paper and peanut butter and milk and bread. And we're all good. We're all going to act like everything's fine. Now give a couple months, 3, 4 months. Weird stuff's going to happen. Now my work is I mentor people. And when people have more emotions in them that settle down, those become emotional blocks. And now you're going to see people not being able to get their goals. They feel like they can't move forward. They feel like they have something stuck in their chest or something stuck in their gut, or they can't think straight. These become emotional blocks. Emotional blocks. So mark my words, in a couple months from now, after this starts to calm down, everybody's they're going to back off and not do anything to manage themselves. And then they're going to wonder why they can't move forward. And it's going to be wherever they were before all this outbreak, wherever they were inside, it's going to be multiplied in a couple months from now if they don't do any work about it. So I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to inform you, because this is not being talked about. And you get this. I saw the hands go up. I see you go. And I know some of you are going, oh, Kirk, you're a doomsdayer. And I'm like, I've been a mentor and a coach for 15 years. I can tell what's going on with people, and I can see the writing on the wall. It's not difficult for me to see it. It's not difficult for me to see, because I mentor people every day, Monday, sometimes through Saturday, but Monday through Friday. I sit with people. I talk to people. I talk to large groups of people all the time. And I know what the problems of the people are, and I know where they came from. And because I know where the problems came from, and I'm watching what's happening, I'm going, oh boy, I'm going to have to up my game as a mentor and get ready, because there's going to be a whole new slew of problems coming amongst marriages, amongst people trying to get a job, amongst kids, amongst families, because they don't know what to do. They don't know how important it is right now to pay attention to this. And you can see we could go through and add anxiety and fear and overwhelm. We could add all this in here. You see where this is going. You can see where it's going. Yeah, my microphone still works. I just had to take a breath for a moment. Because I feel for the people who don't know what to do. They don't understand what's happening inside of them. They don't know. And when they don't know, they start to give up. They just do. Years ago, people would fight for themselves. But in the world today, people give up so easy. And I'm really nervous what this is going to do to people. What's it going to do to the people? And I just can't keep quiet about it. And that's why I put together this webinar to talk to you and be able to say, hey, hear me and do something, and then spread the word, help people. Okay, I need to show you this. This right here, this is a new screenshot for those of you on your phone and you can't see this because you're only listening because maybe that's what you got going on. There's a new screenshot here. And let me show you what this looks like when I say bottled up, or you hear me use the language, it's all stacked up inside them. So you see this diagram here of, here's the heart, you know, and here's, you know, we feel in our body and in our chest and in our neck. That's where a lot of feelings happen. So feel is on the lower level. Then about right in here is where your mouth, you know, is, and then your eyes, and then your brain. So this chart that you're looking at is pretty much, it fits the human being, right? Now watch as I demonstrate for you the emotional impact of what's going on. And then we're going to get into the techniques of what to do to help your children and to help you, to help your spouse, and to help your friends. And I was trying so hard not to. To get emotional about this, but kids already have such a hard time. And there's so many adults that have a hard time. This is going to be rough. In a couple months from now, it's going to be rough. People will try to keep it quiet, but probably towards the end of this year, going into the next year, oh man, we're going to see some really tough things happen with people in your own family. You're going to see it. So pay attention so I can help you. Okay, so this is what it means. You have a negative emotion and it happens in your body. You see here at the bottom of the screen, when you have a negative emotion and it happens inside of you, it then weighs on your heart. And it just does. It gets in your chest or in your gut and it just settles in. And if you don't clear it, oh great, I'm sitting here without a Kleenex. Okay, you're going to hear me sniffle. I did not think I was going to cry. All right, sorry for the sniffling. So, and then if a person has another emotion that they feel and it happens in their body, it stacks on top of the other emotion. And then that's only two emotions. Then here's the third one. Here's the fourth one. And look what it just covered. Look at that. Their feelings, these are stacking up. And notice how it's stacked up and it now is covering the word talk. When emotions, oh, I hear Kim coming. I think she's going to bring me tissues. I hear her footsteps. Maybe, maybe not. So this emotion here stacks up. And you see right there where it says talk. When emotions stack up, they stack up to a point where a person will literally cut back or cut down. Here comes my beautiful wife bringing me tissues. Thank you. So you guys don't have to hear me sniffle. All right. Thank you, Kimberly. Okay. So what happens is the emotions stack up and they will stack up inside of a person and you'll know that the person has an excessive amount of emotion inside of them when they stop talking or they don't talk as much. If somebody in your family starts to get quiet, the emotions have stacked up literally over their vocal cords and over their mouth. Energetically, it's getting deep. This is true. And you'll notice somebody in your family is not going to talk as much, or your friend. And that's the first sign that they have an excessive amount of emotions, is they're not sharing their opinions. They're not talking. They're not interacting. They're withdrawing themselves. They just sit there and hold back. And so now you know it's that deep. There's excessive amounts going on. And this is the first signal that you will probably notice. There's other signals before, but this is where you can really notice, like physically, like, whoa, something's happening to our child or to my spouse or to my friend or my coworker, you know, and it's like, whoa, this is happening. And then if they don't do anything about it, the emotions keep coming in, all different kinds of emotions. And then watch, this is a big one. This one's huge. When the emotions stack up and it starts to block how they see life and how they see things, literally they feel like they can't see what to do. And this is where a person starts to panic. I can't tell what to do. I'm not sure what to do. And now you know that when they're saying things like, I can't see what to do, I don't know what to do, I can't see how this is going to turn out, you now know that they've really have excessive emotions that have stacked up. They've just stacked up. Then you can see where this is going. They can't talk about it. They can't see. And panic happens right here. This is really where panic kicks in. But then when it stacks up this high, and you see what this is about ready to cover, they can't even think. And now when they can't talk, they can't see how it's all going to turn out, and they can't think, this is where they either will have a come apart or they will completely implode. And when they implode, you'll see them being tired. When the brain gets covered, when their thinker gets covered up, they're tired. Oh, I don't know why, but I'm just like so tired. I got to go lay down. Your children will sleep a long time, or your spouse won't get out of bed, or you'll see them just go lay down and take like 4-hour naps a lot. And they'll keep saying, I don't know why, I'm just like really tired. That them saying that is that there's an excessive amount of emotions that they can't even think. And the reason why they say they're tired is because when the body goes to sleep, it tries to process these emotions and pull these off. That's what sleep does. Sleep is trying to process thoughts and emotions and the day's activities. And so the brain will shut down the person so that they can start to process, because it's just so deep. And so if you're noticing you're excessively tired and you're like, oh, I'm just always so tired. What's going on? I hardly did anything today. And you notice, like in the last week, especially, this extra level of being tired, and you're going to say, oh, it's just that I'm stressed. Yeah, look, this is stress. This is another form of stress. This is another form of stress. And it's stacked up so much you can't think. And so the brain's automatic response is shut down this human being so we can process, because we are at a level of not functioning. We can't function. We can't feel. We can't talk straight. We can't see how things are going to turn out. We can't see how to make plans. We can't think. And so the brain's natural response is shut down to clean up. Now, the reason why I show you this is so that you can notice some outside signs of your family members or your friends. Because if your friend's like, oh, weird, I couldn't even get out of bed this morning, you now can tell your friend, hey, I just saw this training. You have excessive emotions stacking up inside of you. You've got to do what I've learned, and I got to teach you. And your friend will be like, no, I'm just tired. And you're like, no, you don't even understand how you function. And you get to tell people and show people this chart and show them when emotions stack up, this is what you're going to do. First, you're not going to talk that much, or you're not going to express yourself that much. Then you can't see and you're going to panic, and then you can't think. And then, okay, let's add one more. Let's put one more on the top. You put one more on the top. This top portion of who you are as a human being is where you receive inspiration or ideas. This is the idea portal right here. And when this stacks up this high and you got no ideas, you have no thinking, no seeing, you can't talk straight, you're mumbled, you're jumbled, you just have cryptic language, like nobody can even decipher what you're talking about. And you're like this, that is you feel like you're going to die. This is a person who feels like they're going to die. It's all over. There's nothing you can do. It's the end of the world. A person who's like this will start promoting it's the end of the world. And it's like, it's not the end of the world. You are emotionally bottled up. You are bottled up and you don't know it and you need help. This is what bottled up looks like and sounds like, and giving you some signals of what that person, and this person still doesn't understand what's going on inside of them. So this may be good for you to notice and be able to notice about yourself and notice about other people, but give me a raise of hands if I'm explaining this in a way that is easy for you to understand visually what's going on with people, right? And I would show this diagram to people, draw it on paper, help them go, you are heading for a direction of panic. So let me just pull this back, and I get to say it all again because this is very, very important. Whoa, I just moved my line. Hold on. I need my motion piece. Okay, let me just show this. I'm gonna do it faster this time, but just listen. And so it connects in your brain, because you get to be the one who gets to help people get straight and help them be conscious and be able to function. Because when you got a bunch of people around you who are just gummed up and they're bottled up, they don't do anything. They can't do anything. They're just like zombies. I'm not kidding. Like, this is zombie state right here. They can't think, they can't talk, they can't see what to do. They have no ideas. And you're like, what just happened to this person? And you've been wondering, or you're going to wonder, what happened? But now you get to see the process. So an emotion comes in, the person feels it. It gets stacked up because they didn't release it and they didn't let it go. Then another one comes in and they just let them stack up because they don't understand how emotions happen. Then when it gets to here, the person starts to get cryptic and they don't make sense and their sentences are not correct. And you start to have arguments as a couple. You start to have arguments as a couple because you don't make sense to each other. Your kids become irritable to you because they're not listening to you because you don't make sense, and they are doing the wrong things every day. They're doing the wrong things every day. Your employees, they're like, I can't understand you. And you think you're talking straight, but you're emotionally backed up or bottled up, and you don't make sense. You have broken up sentences. You have inconsistent sentences, and they can't understand you. So if you'll start to have a lot of miscommunication issues, which then cause hard feelings and which cause problems and cause collapse. When communication goes down, you are heading towards a collapse in your family, your marriage, your business, whatever's going on. And that's because of an emotional bottle up experience. Then if you don't do anything about it, then it stacks up. And then it starts to creep in on your ability to have vision of what to do, ideas of what to do. And then you start to panic. You start to panic and you think everybody else is doing things wrong. And you can't keep your thoughts straight. You can't. You can't even talk straight. You can't even see straight. And then you start to, now hear me on this one. I'm going to go a little extra on this one. Just hear me. What happens here is you start to get scared because it seems like everything's darker. Your vision is blocked. And when people can't see where they're going, they get scared. They get super cautious. And a person who can't see moves forward very slowly, because it's like there's literally a block on their eyes of their brain and they don't know what everything looks like. And so they move really slow. And if you're moving slow, that might not be good for you because you can't move quickly. And so this is going to cause additional problems. And then when people are saying things and you're like, whoa, hold on, I don't see how that's going to work, or I can't see how that's going to work, you're going to notice you keep saying you can't see how it works, or the other person's going to keep saying that. And then at that point, then if you don't, and then it causes more emotions, which stack up. And now, oh my gosh, you can't even think. And now your brain goes, whoa, holy cow, we are stacked up. We've got to start to shut down. And then the last one will pop up there. And then now you're completely bottled up. You have no ideas. Your brain's trying to put you to sleep all the time. You're falling asleep everywhere. You're just falling asleep. You're just super tired. And you're like, whoa, hold on, I did sleep. And you can't figure out why you're so tired, because your brain's like, we can't think. We've got to shut you down so we can process these emotions, because we need help. Normal sleep is no longer, hear me on this, normal sleep is no longer the emotional management technique we use today. It used to be you could go to sleep and your brain can process the emotions of the day. But now it's so stacked up, the brain can't keep up. You need to have an additional time during your conscious hours to assist your brain's natural function. Your brain's natural function is to heal. If you cut your finger, it's going to heal it. And the same thing with emotions. When you have negative emotions, its natural function is to try to process them through dreams. But when you're like this, it can't keep up, because then you wake up and then there's more. And then they just stack up even higher and they get cluttered and they just build just a big pile. And now when you're down here at this level, you're going to start having weird ailments. Can't breathe, your teeth hurt, your eyes hurt, your head hurts, your back hurts all the time. You just have hurts that just won't go away because you are emotionally stacked and you're bottled up. So we got to do something about this. But before I now show you what to do, I got to hear from you by a raise of hands. You're with me. Are you with me on this? You're with me. Okay. All right. I can see your names. I can see you going across. Every time you click the button, I see your name. It flies across my screen. Okay. This is what you do. This right here is an emotional pocket. Super important that you understand that emotions come in pockets or a group. There's this, I just call it a tennis ball, or the size of an orange or an apple, or a size of a lemon, or a size of a grape. So there's a grape, there's a lemon, an orange, an apple, a grapefruit, a basketball, all these different sizes. And let me just show you over here. There's all different sizes. There can be big emotions that are very, very, very big charge. And then there's also little tiny. So you can have little tiny emotions that are in you. You can have medium size, well, a little bit bigger. And then you get it, that there's just different sizes. They're not all the same size. So inside of you, however the size is, each individual emotion is in its own compartment. So just imagine like maybe you have like 12 oranges stacked inside of you, and yours are the size of oranges. Or go orange, lemon, grapefruit, basketball, grape, orange, basketball. And they're just all in there in all these different shapes and sizes. But it's really important to clarify with yourself, each emotion is its own pocket or its own section of emotion. Your emotions are not all one gigantic thing. It's not one gigantic thing. So you see this person right here on the screen? This is what people believe. People believe that their emotional state looks like this. Like it's one massive emotion and it's too big to manage. That's not true. Because if you believe it's this big, you don't think you can tackle it. You don't think you could do work on it. So notice that with this person there on the left, this is what people believe it feels like. But what you're learning here is this is how it is. There's grapes, oranges, lemons, basketballs, grapefruits that are stacked up. Because if you believe me and you'll trust me, you now can handle a grape. You can handle an apple. You can handle a lemon. You can handle a basketball because they're all their own individual parts. Now, it feels like they're one gigantic thing and it's the size of a house or the size of a boulder, or it's as heavy as a boulder. And you think, oh, there's nothing I can do about this. This is just the way I am. No, you're not. That's not just the way you are. Don't settle and don't surrender to your negative emotions. Don't surrender to your negative emotions. You get to look at them and individualize them. Individualize them. So we're going to get rid of this whole gigantic concept and go, whoa, hold on, Kirk. You're trying to tell me that all of these are individually stacked up inside me. Yes. And you can handle them one by one. Each day you can handle one of them, two of them, three of them. They're these little things, and some of them are the size of a basketball. But what happens is all these emotions, because they're all feelings, it feels like they're all one big thing, but it's not. That's a misunderstanding about emotions. Emotions are all individual experiences. And so when you go to do emotional management on yourself, you're handling one or two at a time. And that's manageable. Where people get overwhelmed in managing their emotions is they think they've got to tackle a thing the size of their car and they don't feel strong enough. But you can handle a lemon, right? You can handle a lime or a grape or maybe even a peanut, right? Like some of these inside of you, you could have like a whole bunch of peanut-sized emotions stacked up that's causing so many issues for you. And so they're individual. So part of being able to stay consistent with this is to understand how this is organized and how this is built inside of you. Your brain is not messy. It stacks emotions deliberately. It does this because it's like, okay, we got another one, put it on the top of the pile. Oh, we got another one, put it on top of the pile. And so your brain knows, oh, it's an emotion. Okay, this human being didn't say what to do with it. Okay, I guess we keep it. Okay, put it on the pile. So it knows where they're at. It knows how many you have. Your brain knows. You don't know though, because you think you can't manage them and you think that it's too big. So I'm trying to help you here so that you know, oh, I'm not trying to manage all my emotions at the same time, just a portion of them. And me knowing this, I can now do a little bit each day. So I really hope that just helped in the understanding of what's going on with your emotions is when it comes to sizes of this. So here's the plan. Here's the plan is that you today are going to take off 2 of these. And look, we're uncovering your thinker. So you can think. So you can stay conscious and not be so sleepy all the time and not check out. Your brain doesn't need to check you out to try to work on you. You can go, okay, brain, I'm helping. Let's handle this. So between today and tomorrow, working on 2 today and 2 tomorrow, look what we just did. We are clearing off the pile. This is so good. This is where I get excited. I probably am going to get a little amped about this because this is so exciting to be able to talk about this because it really works and it really does something and it really helps and you get to really do this. Okay. And you can teach it. Now, how do you do this? I'm going to teach you the most simple steps that I can, that I know that are doable for you. Okay, so here's the step. Number 1 is awareness. And we have definitely brought together the awareness, haven't we? We brought together the awareness. Step 2 is, okay, we need to start the removal process. We need a way to remove these emotions that every man, woman, and child can do. That's not too woo-woo. It's not too weird. It's not too out there that people are going to go, okay, that's weird. So we're going to stay away from the weird ways of doing this. I'm going to teach you the way that's acceptable. It's like socially acceptable. And so I've tried a lot of different ways to express this to people, and there's woo-woo ways that people are like, that's weird. I'm not going to do that. And it's like, okay, I got to do this in a way that every person will at least try it once. Because if you could try it once, you could possibly clear off enough to think. And that would be good. So you can think. Because if you can think, you can make better decisions. You make better decisions, you'll have better outcome. So even if you can do this once, we can at least clear off your thinker so you can do something. So here's the socially accepted way that works, and every man, woman, and child can do this. You grab a pad of paper. Get a pad of paper. You grab a pen. Then you write down on this pad of paper with your pen. Now, if you want to go to your laptop, you're totally fine, but I'm going to talk about the pad of paper, but you're welcome to use a laptop. And I'm going to highly suggest you write it down. There's other techniques that are more advanced techniques, but right now, this is the socially accepted way that is the most effective that you can teach someone and do yourself and you teach your children. So you grab a pad of paper, then you notice any of these. How do you feel? What's going on? How do you feel? And now watch this, whatever comes to your mind first is what's at the top of the stack. Whatever comes to your mind, like, oh, well, this is what I feel. That's the thing that's at the top of the stack because your brain knows what's at the top of the stack. It knows. So when you go, how do I feel about what's going on or about myself or about things that are going on? And the brain will say, hey, here's something. It's right on the top of the stack. Here. So it's going to bring this to your mind and say, okay, this is how you feel. Then what you do is you write down how you feel. And as you write down how you feel, that information goes onto the pad of paper. This emotion is information. That's what it is. It's information. Emotions are information. It's a pocket of information that has a charge. And so when you go to write down the information on a pad of paper, you are moving the information from your body to the pad of paper. And you're transferring it. You're moving the information from here to there. And you are writing exactly how you feel. And this could be a pad of paper. It could be a notepad. It could be a napkin. It could be a 2x4. I don't care what you write on, but you just take this information, move it onto paper. So you're transferring the information from your brain to the paper because that's the first step is for you to be able to get it out of you and see it on paper. Now, when you go to write about this emotion, you're going to feel it because it has a charge. And if you're like, well, I don't like the feeling, okay, keep it. Keep it in your body. But when you go to remove it, just like removing a sliver, it hurts a little bit. So you are pulling out a sliver. And when you pull out a sliver, there's a little tiny sting. The same thing happens with an emotion, but just look at my screen and see that when you write about it, it's pulling it out. And just like pulling out a sliver, there's this ow. And so you go through the ow and you put the information on the paper. Wow. Maybe that will take a third of a page. Maybe it'll take half of a page. Maybe it'll take a whole page. Maybe it'll take pages. It's okay. You keep writing until the feeling starts to go down. Soon as you have the feeling start to go down, you know you have pulled it out of you. And then if you're writing and you're just like, wow, I'm mad, I'm really angry, and you feel charged, just keep writing. Just keep writing, and you'll notice the feeling starts to go down. And you'll feel it, and you'll go, whoa, that feeling is actually going down. Okay, I'm going to keep writing for a couple more sentences. And as you keep writing, it dissipates. It goes away. It like calms down because you're writing about it. You're expressing it. But you keep writing until the emotion starts to go down. But at the very beginning, you'll be charged. You'll be like, oh, I'm so scared because I'm not. And you'll feel like, oh, this is weird. I shouldn't be doing this. You're pulling it out. You're pulling it off the top of the stack. And you put it on paper. Of course, it's going to be electrically charged. It's an emotion. Of course. So it's going to sting a bit. It's going to hurt a bit. But then as you keep writing, you're going to feel it go down. That's the most beautiful part. But notice, watch for the moment when it starts to go down and you'll be like, Kirk is right. It's going down. And then it gets exciting because it's like, wait a minute. That was one and my brain's covered up. I got to do this again. You see, the problem is when people start to do this, they don't write until it goes away because they think that writing is making the feeling. That's not correct. Writing is dissipating the feeling. It's dissipating. It's disassembling. The information is being disassembled on the paper. You're writing out the details. You're actually pulling it apart. And it's dissipating. It's going away. It's going away. Your children need help. And if they say, Mom, when I write this, I feel really angry. It's okay. Keep writing. Are you sure, Mom? Yeah, it'll go away. Watch. Help them. Help them. Write it. And encourage them to work through the pain of the emotion. Help them. It's better to feel the sting as it's going on paper than to leave the sting inside. Because when it stings on the inside, it stings every day. One moment of sting coming out on the paper is nothing compared to days and years of the sting on the inside. It doesn't even compare. So you get it out on paper, you move the information to the paper, and you write until you feel the emotions starting to go down. And it will go down. It happens every time. And when it starts to go down, you know you have gotten it out and it's gotten on paper and you've been able to dissipate that emotion. Then this paper does not stay on the kitchen counter. You don't share it with anyone. This is not something to share with someone. You don't go read your children's papers before they throw them away. You don't want that because this emotion can leap off the page and into you. Don't do that. This is a toxic, like you almost need like a hazmat suit to throw this away because it's toxic. It's painful. It can kill you. Negative emotions can kill you. They can. And so this is bad stuff. And so you tell your child, okay, go over to the garbage can, and you tear that paper up into pieces and throw that away. So then they start to tear it up into pieces and they throw it away in the trash. And now they've taken care of one of those emotions. And so now they've got one in there. They now can go back and they can work on the next one. What else do I feel? And then they can go, oh, here's the next one. Wow, it's just right there at the top of my mind. And then you do the same process. You write it down, all your thoughts and feelings about this emotion until it starts to go down. And then you take that and you take it over to the trash, tear it up into tiny pieces, and you let that go. And when you go to tear it up into pieces, you can say out loud, it's okay to let go of this emotion. It wasn't me. It's okay to let go of this emotion. It wasn't me. It's not me. Then you come back and you go to the next one. And you go to the next one. And 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 go to the next one. You go all the way through. And you keep going. One a day is awesome. One time of doing this a day is awesome. It's beautiful. 2 times a day, that's some really good work. And then I would stop. You start moving too fast, they start flying up. And then it's like you got 20 of them on your mind. But like 1 or 2 of these a day is beautiful. And within 2 days, look at this. Within 2 days, within 1 day, you're already going to feel better. Within 2 days, you're going to notice you can start to think. You're going to notice you feel different. You're going to notice you're not as tired anymore. You're going to notice like, whoa, there's something different about me. But within 1 to 2 days, you're going to feel amazing. But just because you cleared off your thinker, don't stop. Clear off your eyes. Clear off your mouth. Clear off your heart. Work on clearing yourself. Work on clearing yourself. Help your children turn this into a daily practice. And then you get pads of paper or pull paper out of the printer so that they can start to do this. Now, give me a raise of hands if I explain this in a way that makes sense. Yes? Okay. Now, action has to happen. It's time for action. It's time to, okay, when are you going to do this today? Because I narrowed it down, simple version here. Very doable, very sociably acceptable. So if you call your mom and you're like, Mom, I can tell you are stacked up, you're amped up. Mom, you got to do this. Well, how do you do this? Mom, get a pad of paper. But what if I feel weird? You keep writing, Mom, until it goes down. Well, I don't know if it'll go down. Mom, it goes down. Or you call your sister. You get a hold of your brother. You call your friend. Hey, I just realized today you are bottled up. We got to unbottle you here. We got to clear this out. I care about you enough. We are not going to let this negative energy pocket affect you and hurt you, and you're not going to have this happen. You call people, you text people, you teach them how to do this, and you will see it work. It's beautiful. Now, you heard me say that this is the socially accepted way, and there's other ways to be able to do this. There's like 10 different ways to do this. And there are faster ways to do it, but I'm not here to talk about faster. I'm here to talk about effective. And I'm here to talk about you being able to do this and not have a problem with it. because we don't want to complicate this right now, because I don't know your skill level. I don't know your skill level. I don't know how long you've done this. I don't know if you've even done this, but don't try to find the faster way. Just do the effective way. Be effective. It works. And in the course of 1 to 2 days, you're going to notice a difference. And keep going. Keep going until you know you're getting down into you and really clearing these emotions. So, okay, I'm going to open up for a couple questions here, and then I got one more thing to share with you about this that you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss this last part about this emotional process that I'm showing you here, okay? So I'm going to, let me see here. I got to pull up my list and then get over here to where I can see. Now, if you have a question, I can answer a few questions here. Click the raise the hand button, and then what happens is your name gets moved to the top of the list, and then I'm going to start right there at the top of the list and go down the list, and I've got about 10, 12 minutes of answering questions here that I'm going to help as much as possible to be able to explain these things. And I hope that this has been valuable to you. And I did not expect me to get emotional about this. I guess it's my deep side of me. I can see what's coming if we don't do something about it. Okay. So Becky Ray, I don't know if you left your hand raised up from something else, but you are getting picked first. So let me give you the instructions on how we do the Q&A part. So here's the instructions. You raise your hand. I'll start from the top. I'll call your name out. You have to unmute yourself on your end. So you got to find the microphone button, because right now it's muted. And I click the button on my side to allow you to talk. And then if you, Becky Ray, or whoever's using Becky Ray's account, you have to click the unmute button or I can't hear you. And if you can't find the button, then I have to move on to the next person. I know, sorry about that. It's just, I can't get in there and unmute your computer. So Becky Ray, you're not unmuting your microphone. I'm going to give you about 5-7 more seconds, and then I'm going to move to Dawn Riggs. You're next. Becky, I know you raised your hand first too. I saw you pop up there really quick. Okay, I'm going to leave you right there. Let me just try this one more button. Oh, Becky, can you hear me? Where are you, Becky? Oh, your microphone's unmuted. I still can't hear you. And I know everything on my side's working. Okay, I'm going to leave you right there. You work on your volume and you work on trying to find where that's not plugged in right. I'm going to go to Dawn right now. Okay, I'll come back and check on you in just a moment, Becky. Okay, Dawn Riggs. Let's try you, Dawn. Okay, Dawn, you unmute yourself. Okay, somebody's microphone has to work, because I'm like, wait a minute, where is everybody? Okay, unmute Dawn Riggs. You got it. My volume's up. I click unmute. Okay, I'm gonna try Kate Larson. Somebody's got to talk to me so I know that this works. Kate Larson.
Hello.
Okay, good. Okay, it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
The button just popped up once you picked my name. There was an option to mute. So yeah, that was good. This is actually a question from my daughter, Rachel. She's right here.
Oh. Is it okay to put the question, your feelings in the recycling?
Tell me your name.
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. You know what, Rachel? That's a really good idea. I like that idea. Put your tore up paper in the recycling, because once you tear the paper up, the emotion is all pulled apart. So if it goes in the garbage or the recycling, you decide. But I think it's really smart, Rachel, that you're thinking about the recycling. So yes, put it in the recycling box.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How old are you?
I'm 12.
Oh my goodness. You are a smart 12-year-old. Good job. Hey, Rachel, do,
Mhm.
do you like my pictures?
Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
they make sense?
Yeah.
It does?
I like a lot of your stuff. I watched the Master Your Influence with Mom.
Oh, you did?
And she printed us out the packets and we went and got them bound.
Are you serious? Okay, that's super cool. Okay, because I hope that it makes sense. So that one makes sense. Did this one make sense about spreading it amongst your family? Did that make sense?
I just got here for the last part.
Oh, you did.
But
Okay.
yeah.
It's super early. We're on a different time zone.
Oh, okay.
She woke me up.
She woke you up. Okay, but this part makes sense, right, Rachel?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right, very good. Okay, nice to meet you, Rachel.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Kate. All right. Okay, Becky, I'm going to go back to you just for a moment. Becky Ray, let's see. Oh, I can't hear you, Becky Ray. Becky Ray, unmute. Okay, I'm going to go back to you, Dawn. I'm just going to try again. Hi, Dawn. Dawn.
Yes.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Kirk. Good morning. Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad your unmute button worked.
Just had to figure out technology. You know how it is.
Yes, I do.
So my question is really quickly, how, if we find ourselves derailing, how can we quickly come back to where we were, to recenter ourselves? Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know, it's very interesting when we find ourselves going off the path and we're like, oh man, I got to get back on. What you got to be careful of is don't get mad at yourself. Just be careful, because if you get mad at yourself, it's tougher to get back at the activity because you're mad at yourself. So just know, like, okay, I got to get back at this. And then what would really help you, Dawn, is that if you set up your supplies, like put a pad of paper next to your bed with a pen, with a small garbage can right there next to your nightstand or somewhere close. So the work of doing what I'm teaching you here can happen right there. You don't have to go in the kitchen and then go find a pan, and then you got to go find a trash can. Organize your materials so that they're easy access. And seriously, I would put it next to your bed. So at the end of the day, you're writing down the emotions that happened during the day so you can relieve your mind right before you go to bed. And so it'll give your brain a boost to be able to do the work of removing emotions. So you're actually accelerating your mind's ability to process that night. And so you're giving it a boost by clearing off some of that right before you go to sleep. So it's really, really good. And then if you wake up in the morning and you notice that there's some emotions there, you're right there. The pad of paper's there, the pen's there, and the garbage can's there. You can just grab the pad of paper and then you're writing down a few things, tearing it, throwing it away. Because your brain, when you woke up, said, hey, I need help with this one. Will you write this one down? So you are collaborating and working alongside your brain, but you got your pad of paper, your pen, and your garbage can right next or close to your bed. So it makes it easy. What do you think, Dawn?
That sounds amazing.
It's more doable that way.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. It's right there. You've got it all together.
Yeah, because that's, as soon as you go to look for a pad of paper, you might have like a squirrel moment or a shiny object moment where you get distracted, or you're walking towards to find a pad of paper and somebody texts you. And there's so many distractions, you can actually forget what you were doing. And so when you're going to bed and you go to sit on your bed before you lay down, you look over, there's the pad of paper. And boom, it's right there. It's a visual reminder and it's all set up, ready for you to go. And then remember this, Dawn, even 3 or 4 sentences, even that is effective. just a couple sentences. It doesn't have to be half a page. It doesn't have to be a full page. You could just write a couple sentences, how you feel about the day or what happened during the day. And then you tear that up and let it go. That right there is so helpful. So small amounts are helpful. It's better than doing nothing. So just write out a couple of things, throw it away, and that just helps your brain. And so make it simple, keep your materials close by, and you'll start to create a really good, healthy pattern. Cool? Awesome. Thanks, Dawn. Oh, there you are. Thanks, Dawn.
Thank you, Kirk.
You're welcome. Okay, Kim Davis. Kim Davis, you are, hi, Kim. Whoa, something's up with your microphone. Hold on, let's try that again. Okay, I muted you. Something happened to your microphone or something? Yeah, let me just, something's going on with your microphone. Okay, Kim, I gotta mute you. Okay, so yeah, something happened to your microphone. It makes you sound like a chipmunk. I know, it's crazy, right? It's like, what? How come that's happening? Sometimes that happens. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. So what you can do, Kim, what you can do is you can type your question, go into the Q&A box and type your question there. Okay, all right, very good. Oh, Kim, you're right here on.
So you've got questions, and this question is it's a common question from a lot of people asking about this.
Is one of that many of them have how to.
She doesn't have a microphone, but they want to know how to deal with.
What do you do with little kids?
Right.
Oh, really good question. Okay.
So they don't know how to write
that
out.
Don't know how to write. Okay, so let me address. There's a question that's coming up on the Q&A box a lot, and let me just share this with you. When you have little kids who can't, they can't write sentences, and it's really difficult for them to identify what they feel. What you do is you give them a blank piece of paper with some colored pencils, and let the child choose the color pencil, and they're going to draw a picture about how they're doing. Like, hey, let's draw a picture about how things are for you. Like, let's just, and you don't even have to be that complicated. You could just say, hey, let's draw a picture. A small child will automatically express their feelings and thoughts through their drawing. And so if you see them grab the red pencil or the red crayon, and you see them grab a black or red or any dark colors, they're actually expressing emotion by using those dark colors. And then if you see another part of their picture where they're using a lot of bright colors, those are their happy feelings. So they don't even have to say their emotions. Just let them choose a color and draw a picture about whatever they want. It'll naturally come out on the paper how they feel, because they're just so expressive in that little person state that they're in. So for all the little people, give them crayons or colored pencils, have them draw a picture, and don't have them tear it up, because they don't get that part. They don't get that part. If they're old enough, you can explain it to them. Then you could show them how it works, and they could tear the picture up and throw it away. But other than that, have them just draw the picture and just ask them, hey, can you draw me a picture today? And they're like, what, mommy? And it's like, oh, anything you want. And then they give you the picture. And so that's their way of letting it go. But you know, you're not taking it on. You just are now the place that they can just give it. So now it's leaving them. And then you can go put that picture in a file if you want, or if the kid's like asking where it's at on the wall, you can put it on the wall, but them writing or expressing it helps them release it through that picture. If they're a little bit older, and you can say, hey, if you feel scared, draw a picture about what it feels like to be scared. if they're old enough to know what scared is, or if you feel worried, let's draw a picture about how you feel like when you're worried. And then when we're done, we're going to help this come out of you. And you can draw pictures and teach them what I've taught you here and just show them how this works and just be very gentle with them, but let them just draw and let them choose their own colors. Don't just specifically put red in front of them or black in front of them. Let them select the colors that match to how they feel. And that natural process will help them express themselves. So I'm glad Kim brought that question into me because I forgot that part. Now, one other thing I want to talk about with kids is that sometimes kids don't know all the different names of emotions. And even us as an adult, we don't know all the names of the emotions. So if I'm writing and I'm writing down my emotions and I can't figure out what this emotion is, I will just make up a name. And it's okay. You don't have to know the professional name of the emotion to be able to release it. You can name it, whatever you want to name it. One day I was writing and I wrote down, I feel really, I feel an emotion in my chest that feels crunchy. So I named the emotion crunchy. And then I wrote about the emotion and I knew what I was writing about. I knew it was in me and I could feel it. But it wasn't frustration, it wasn't anger, it wasn't upset, it was just something else. And so instead of thinking I have to know the name, I just made up a name. So if your children ask you, or if your friend asks you and they say, well, I don't know what it is, and say, well, just name it, whatever you want. And then if that doesn't help them, then what you say is, well, how big do you think it is? Oh, well, I think it's the size of a grapefruit. Well, what color is it? Oh, it's black. Okay, well then just say there's a black thing in my chest that's the size of a grapefruit, and this is what it feels like. So if you can make up a name, or you can give it some kind of identity with a shape and a color. And that works also. You're just identifying what it is, and then the brain will locate it, and then as you go to write, then it now will start to express it onto your paper. And it works as effective. You don't have to know all the official names of the emotions for this to work for you. Super cool. Super cool. Okay, I'm going to go to Craig. Craig? Hi, Craig. Craig Holmes. Are you there, Craig? Oh, there you go. Unmute. Hi, Craig.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, Craig.
Hi. Question for you.
Yes.
As back to the diagram with the individuals sharing emotions or passing them along. My question is, how do you diffuse other people's negative emotions? Or how do you prevent them from coming inside?
Okay, so you're saying like, okay, this emotion is coming from this person, and you're the wife or the mom, and your husband is saying negative emotions. How do you keep them from getting inside you?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so when somebody else is being emotional, because you've been doing work yourself, you can actually see when people are giving off emotions or hearing that they're giving off emotions. And then this person then would choose, I choose not to absorb or take on the emotion of this person. So you're choosing, like being super conscious of like, wow, they're pretty upset. Or maybe it's the child, and the child is like, Mom, I'm super scared and everything. This mom can go, okay, my child's scared. I'm not going to take on this emotion. I'm going to help them with their emotion. If they're teachable, of course. But as I am around people, I consciously say inside my mind, wow, this person's really upset. I am not taking this on. But I just choose, like, because if I don't consciously choose, then I automatically will take it on. And so that becomes a conscious choice to not take it on. I might feel them being upset, but I'm not taking it on. And so I would coach that person to say, hey, now that you've been doing work yourself, if you don't choose not to take something on, you're going to absorb other people's emotions.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for speaking up. Thanks, Craig. Okay, where's my list? Oh my goodness, it's already 8 o'clock. Okay. All right. I got to go to the part that I need to share with you before we go here. And there's so many hands up. Man, I wish I could get to all of your questions. But to honor the time, because I know there's things we got to go do and take care of today on this Friday. Let me just show you one other part here about these emotions. Now, I'm going to take you to a tiny bit of advanced level. Take a picture of this. Take a picture of this. When you go to journal about how you feel, this is a nice little checklist for you, or like a step list for you to be able to go, okay, I'm going to write about this. And I've expressed all this. I told all this, but I just wanted to give you this screenshot to see, okay, these are the steps. I'm going to move this emotion out. I'm going to take just 10 minutes sitting next to my bed. I'm going to kind of write down emotions that are going on. Step 2, what's bothering me? What's bothering me? Then number 3, what was the feelings that were charged that day? Something I did or something somebody else did. Then step 4, to throw the paper away or tear it up. I prefer tearing it up because I just like that physical touch of me pulling those apart into little pieces, because then my brain knows we've pulled that apart and it's okay, we're letting it go. And then here's number 5. I hope everybody's still here, because this was the important part I wanted to share with you, is number 5. Before you walk away or before you finish this, I'm going to suggest that you have like a small journal, or that would be the best actually. If you had a small journal that you could just for 5 minutes write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. Because what this will do is it'll turn your mind into creating some positive. So not only did you clear out the negative, but just to make sure your mind is now pointed in the best direction, find 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. And if you could find like a little book or a little journal, a little notepad in your house, have that be a separate thing that you now are keeping track of 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for each day. So you can build up a mindset of gratitude as you are clearing out the negative emotions. Super extra powerful. And that gratitude will help you the next day being able to clear those emotions. So it helps build you to become stronger. 1 through 4 helps you become lighter. You're letting go of the heaviness. And number 5 now helps build you to become stronger. And it's a very simple step. Your children can do this. Your friend can do this. Your mom can do this. Your dad can do this. And you're building some strength after you've let go of some of the weight of those negative emotions. So this helps you become lighter. This one helps you become stronger. Your gratitude, you keep that in a little journal. And then the next day, just now add a couple more. And here's the other clincher on number 5, number them, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 220, 221, 350, 351, 590, 591, 1030, 1031. Keep an ongoing journal of what you're grateful for and number them. You will find incredible strength from this long list of numbered grateful things that you have in your life. It is amazing how strong it makes you mentally and emotionally. So write down 3 to 5 things, but keep the numbers going. And so this makes you lighter. This makes you stronger. Lighter and stronger. Lighter and stronger. Lighter and stronger. And that will turn you around and point you in such a better direction. It's fantastic. So doable by every person all the way across the board. Nobody's exempt from this. Every human being can do what we just talked about here today. And I know you can tell it's going to work. Just me talking about it, I bet I can tell inside of you you're going, oh my goodness, this would work, right? It's so good. Give me a raise of hands if you get this, like this is going to work. You write down these thoughts and emotions. Of course that's going to make you feel better because you're taking charge. You are finally taking charge of your life. Instead of being a victim to everything that's going on, you are now a manager of your being. That's powerful. You are a manager. You're taking over. You're taking charge. You're not just letting it stack up inside of you and just be chaotic and messy. You are organizing yourself. And when you feel organized inside, you can organize your outside. You can organize your family. You can organize your home. But if you feel a mess on the inside, you're going to see your family as a mess. You're going to see your home as a mess. So this is inside work. And to be organized and to take charge of who you are on the inside by how you feel and where your mind is pointed, super, super smart. So good. Oh, this is so good. So keep an ongoing 1020, 1035, 1036. Just keep the gratitude thing going every day and get your kids started on that too. Super powerful. Okay, before we go, if you are somebody who still is in a place and you're like, man, I want to go to the next level. Kirk, what's the next level? What can I do? Here's your two choices. I am announcing my first youth mastermind class for kids. It's called Youth Mind Warriors. Youth Mind Warriors. It starts on March 30th, on Monday. This would be a great program to get your kids into, that they will get on a webinar with me. Great program for me to mentor your kids. If you want me to mentor your kids and teach your kids how to manage their mind, manage their emotions, manage where their vision is going, manage where they're going, I can help your kids. And they can watch me on the computer. There's going to be assignments. There's going to be tasks. There's going to be action steps. There's going to be accountability. So if you want me to mentor your kids, it now is here. It's called Youth Mind Warriors. And if you want to be able to, jump in and have your kids be part of this, go to this link right here and register. If you want further coaching from me, here's an incredible program to be able to have monthly coaching to be able to help you continue to keep yourself in order. So this is for you as the adult. This is for your kids. So these are two great choices. Now, super affordable. Here's the Mind Warrior right here. I am so excited for this. I have been thinking about this for so long. And as all these things in the world have happened, I thought, you know what? We've got to empower these kids. The kids are not going to get, negatively affected by this. This is the time to teach them how to adapt. This is how they learn how to adapt. And so I'm going to be your kids' mentor. They get to answer to me for the month of April. So this is going to go through the month of April. So we got 5 90-minute training webinars that will have Q&A. I'll show them, I'll teach them, and then they're going to have homework that they're going to work on from me, their mentor. And so each one of these webinars will happen on Mondays at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. each Monday, and it starts on March 30th. Go here, get your kids registered, and as you register, it's for the family. It's not per person. So if you got 3 kids, you got 5 kids, you got 10 kids, it's okay. It's all the exact same price of $45. So $45 for 5 trainings from me to your kids. I'm going to be talking to your kids, answering their questions, helping them understand how they are, who they are, what's going on inside of them. And I'm going to teach them how to manage their emotions. I'm going to answer their questions. I'm going to help them understand those negative thoughts. I'm going to help them see what's going on inside of them. And you know how it is. You try to teach them, you try to tell them, and then here comes somebody else and they say it and they listen to them, right? I had that happen with my own kids. It's like, go find somebody you'll listen to. So if you've ever wanted your child to have a mentor who you know you can trust, who you know you can trust, I'm here for them. So go jump on here and register your family, your children, to be part of this. And then I will be talking to them starting March 30th at 5 p.m. And we're going to have an incredible time. And it's April, right? It's the end of March, starting into April. It's going to be fantastic. Fantastic. So when you go to this site, to register, this is what the page looks like. Oh, whoops. I forgot my arrow. Hold on. Let me just get that arrow. There we go. Copy. Then we go here. Sorry, it didn't have my arrow. Okay. When you go to the page, this is what the page looks like to register. And you'll see the registration button right here. Just click that. This is designed for ages 10 to 18. And no matter where their grades are at, no matter what their education is, this is training on their insides, thoughts and emotions and motivation. How come your child doesn't have motivation? How come it seems like they don't want to do anything? I'll help them understand. So that'll help you as a parent and help you as a family. So I'll talk to them. I can talk straight to them, and I can help them understand at a level that maybe you don't know to them and how to reach them. I'll help you. I'm here to help you help them. And so for only $45, I mean, that's like 5 trainings. That's like $9 per 90-minute training. Believe me, you'll get your $9 per training back in value. Don't worry, your kids will get fantastic experience. And then they can say, guess what Kirk told me to do? Guess what I got to do? Mom, do you know what I got to do? I'm going to challenge them. They're going to succeed. They're going to succeed, but I'm going to help them really look inside. Because when they don't know how they're put together on the inside, they don't do well. So I thought, make this affordable, make this super good, super easy for them to register. No, they don't register. You register them. And then after you register, you'll get an email from me this next week with the links for the webinars. And then we'll start that Monday on Monday 30th. Super cool. Give me a raise of hands if you think this is cool. I just want to help them. Because I can help them through my visuals and my diagrams, and I can help them see. Because if I can talk to them and I can show them, I know it'll help them make sense. And now you're going to wonder, is this just going to be a repeat of Master Your Influence? Oh, no. No, this is me mentoring your child. This is me mentoring your child. Now, if your child's younger than 10, but they're pretty smart, have them sit there in front of the computer or sit there and watch on the phone. They will learn. If they get this a tiny bit and they're younger, oh, they will do fantastic. They will do fantastic. And I'm going to help answer questions for them. Now, if you're wondering, can you forward this on to a friend that you know? Absolutely. You can forward that link to them and you can see what we're going to do here. It's all about their mind. Because if I don't help them in their mind, they have scrambled stuff going on in their head and they don't know what's happening. And so if you've ever wondered, like, how can I find a mentor for my kids? It's here, it's now, let's do this. And especially with all this world stuff going on, I am not going to sit around. I'm not going to sit around knowing that the kids are taking a hit from this. Right now is the time for these kids to rise up. Right now, it's time for them to understand themselves. Right in the face of difficulty, they're going to rise. And this is when we train them. This is when we get to them. This is when we help them, is when things are weird and difficult, but then they find confidence. They find sure feelings, and they find that level of integrity inside that they're here to make a difference. They're here to make a difference. And I know your child is gifted. Believe me, I understand that part. And I'm going to treat them like they have a special gift. And I'm going to help them find it and start to activate it. Because they're sent to earth to help us. They just don't know what their gift is. They don't know how to find it. They don't know how to use it. And so if this rings with you, and you're like, oh my goodness, I want my child to have a mentor. Here we go. We don't have to meet in a classroom. They get to stay right there at home. and I'm here for them. I'm super excited. But this whole part about helping them discover their gift, this part's going to be cool, because when they realize what they can contribute, it will activate their liveliness of wanting to serve and help and make a difference. It's going to open them up. It's going to open them up. And this has been on my mind for so long. And when I got the strong impression that says, you got to do this now, my thought was, what? Oh my goodness. Like right now it's like, well, okay. And so we're doing it. Here we go. So go click, get on the site, go click, register. And yes, you can forward that link onto a family that you know that maybe, they could benefit from this, and that their children could benefit from having a mentor. This is going to be fantastic. And then they can be part of being a mind warrior. They're going to be able to take on the title of being a mind warrior, because there is a war going on inside every child's mind. And you and I both know the devil's after them. You know that. And the devil is trying to take out the children. He's trying to kill them all. And that ticks me off. That makes me so amped up. Like, you're not taking my friends. I'm going to train them. I'm going to teach them how to defend their families, how to defend their body, how to defend their mind, and how to amp up their gift. And so we can have strong young warriors. Oh, my blood is pumping, because it's like they need training. They need training so they know what to do. This is not just education, it's training. So if this rings with you and you've wondered, how do we get my child a mentor? It's right here in front of you. So click on that, jump in, and I look forward to working with your children. Looking forward to it. The other part here is you. If you want coaching from me, if you want something to move you each month and to be able to help you understand yourself better, then jump in on this, my life coaching program. And it's beautiful. Every month we have a 2-hour training, and I'm making some additions to this program. I don't know if they'll happen within this month, but I got some really cool additions coming very soon that everybody who's in this is going to be super excited. Super excited. So here's the My Life Coach program, and you can go to that link. This is the link right here to register to be able to jump in. Now, I had a special that I was doing a couple months ago, and I'm going to bring it back to the surface here. You can do $35 a month. So look at this, super affordable. But if you want to commit to having a coach, me, for the next 2 years, I'll give you literally a year and 2 months for free. You register for 2 years, I'll pay for the other year. I'll completely pay for the other year and 2 months of this year and save you a ton of money. So let's stick together. The next 2 years, let's stay solid, right? Let's stay really good with each other. Let's really work on ourselves so we are conscious and clear about who we are and where we're going. And so you can do $35 a month, but if you jump in for the 2 years, man, that just paid for 14 months of it. Fantastic. So you can go to this link and register for that while this special is happening. And also I pulled up the landing page of where you would go to register. And this is here. Let me show you this right here. Oh, my work arrow. Okay, I got to get a new arrow. That one won't move. Okay, here we go. Right down here. Down here, look at these bonuses. You get the 14 months for free if you do the 2 years. You also get the Mastermind Thoughts as a gift, which is a program about negative voices, which is fantastic. And then you also get my full audio library, which is, I think we've got 14 different audios in there. That's $97, but you get that as a gift. So there's a total of $634 in bonuses when you click this button to register. Or you could even start out with a trial. You want to try it out. It's only $10 to start, but that's for a 10-day trial. And then it goes to the $35 a month. But this right here, this is the big one. That's the biggest savings best deal, layered on some great, great bonuses for you. So when you go to this and you get to this page, that would be where you will just get the most return on your investment ever. So if you like what we talked about here today, let's keep a good thing going. Okay, so let me just show you the two.
This right here, the website on this right here says 3 weeks. It should just let people know that it's actually 5 weeks. It was just a typo.
What?
Right here.
Where?
Right here. On the actual website. On the
Okay.
page.
So we just got, we're updating the details on this, and I think Kim said that it says it's only for 3 weeks, but it's actually 5. So in case you see it says 3 weeks, you're like, what's going on? That was a typo. It's 5 Mondays from 5 to 6:30, 5 Mondays. And we start March 30th, and it's every Monday. And it goes all the way through the month of April, which, you know what's cool about April is it's the spring time of the year. It's the rejuvenation time of the year. It's the coming forward, the new growing. So beautiful time for your kids to jump in on having a mentor. And it's on Monday evening, so it's not during school. And they'll be able to just click on, boom, they're there. And check this out. Hear me on this one. Each one of these will be recorded, and you will receive the recording of each one of these webinars for you to go back and watch again. So you'll be able to get a recording of each one of these. Is that cool? Give me a raise of hands if that's valuable to you. Let me just lower the hands really quick because I want to see if this is valuable. Is that valuable to you to be able to have a recording? How cool would that be? Then you could play it back. You know what I mean? And then you could stop it. I know sometimes you want the stop button for me. Like, Kirk, pause. I know you want to like pause me and rewind, but that'll be cool is because you'll get the recording and then you can go back and watch it. And then as your kids get older and they start to understand things, you can have them watch it. You can have that now access to that training, and you have full 24/7 access to each one of those webinars that I custom designed to mentor your kids. That's so cool. I mean, I just want to help. I just want to help them. Oh, my heart is so tender for them. So tender for them. Because this is the generation to help us through all of the weird stuff that's going on. I think it's time we unleash their brilliance, right? Like, seriously, let's unleash their brilliance. And I can do that. I've already been opening up people's minds for 15 years. But I've been working with the parents and having the parents teach the children. But now it's time for me to teach the children directly. Get right to them so I know that they're getting the training up front and they completely understand it because they can now ask questions. Just like Rachel. You heard Rachel just a little bit ago get on and ask her question, and other kids are going to have questions, and I'll help them. I'll help them understand what causes a person to lead to suicide. I'll help them understand what to watch out for and how to work with their friends. I'm going to turn your child into a mentor. I'm going to teach your children, they're going to learn, but I'm also going to teach them how to help their friends. Because we need kids who can help each other. Because they're the ones who know the signs first. They're the ones who can see it first. And if these kids know how to talk to them and help them understand what's going on, I think we're going to make a difference there and stop kids from taking their lives, stop parents from taking their lives, stop grandparents from taking their lives. But they need to be empowered of what to look for and what to watch for. And as you watched me today, you saw me uncover the inside story. And I'm going to do the same thing with your kids. I'm going to help them. It's not going to be expected of them, but they're going to become aware. And they're going to be knowledgeable. And they are going to be put in a place that they could do something if they needed to. And that way, we can help each other as families. We can help each other as families, right? Because there's too much of that going on. Too much of that going on. Okay, we got to go. I just want to show you the links one more time. Here's the links. You have this one to go to for the Mind Warriors, for the youth. And then you have this one for you to go to jump on the My Life Coach program. I hope you jump in. I look forward to working with you. And it is now time in this world that we bring forth our gifts and talents to create balance in the world. Bring up your gift and talent and bring it to the world. Bring it to your neighborhoods. Bring it to your friends. We need to all bring up our gifts and talents so that we can bring balance to the chaos that's starting and becoming more and more worse as we're moving forward. We can be the balance. But if we hide our gifts and we hide our talents, how is that supposed to balance by itself? It's us, the people, who bring the balance. And don't worry, I'm not leaving out God. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm very connected to God. I don't leave him out, but I know I got to do my part and you do your part, right? Right? Okay, so choose between the two or choose both. Fantastic day to get yourself organized and have a plan. How cool would it be to have a plan knowing, hey kids, I just hired you a mentor. Who? Kirk Duncan's your mentor. What? Are you serious? Yeah, starting next on that Monday on the 30th, he's your mentor. What? And you'll have some kids like, Mom, what'd you do that for? And other kids will be like, wow, that's awesome. I'm excited. So now you have a plan. Your kids are going to get mentored. And then you can have a plan. You can have a plan. Oh, how good it feels to have a plan. And speaking of plans, let's go back to what you're going to do today. Today, take off one. And if you can, sometimes really soon, maybe this evening, take off two. Take off one, put it in the trash. Take off two, and put it in the trash so you can think. You will do so much better because you can think, but don't stop. You know there's more that's covering up other things. But I'm going to go back to the original statement in the very beginning. Learning how to manage your emotions gives you back. Gives you back. I'm going to put that in there. Gives you back the power. I don't know if this is grammatically correct, and it doesn't matter. I'm just saying it. Learning how to manage your emotions gives you back the power to think. And this opens up the inner world of inspiration of what to do and when. Now you get why. You get why. You see that, right? You see it like, oh my goodness, this is so true. And then this is where true security and safety comes from. Security and safety does not come from money. It comes from your personal ability to think. And that's what you want in the world today, is to still be a thinker and a doer. Don't let that die. Don't let that die. You open yourself back up so you can be fully alive. Thank you for jumping on. Super excited to share with you. If you gained some value here today, give me a raise of hands. I just want to know, did you get something out of this today that was valuable? Yeah? Okay, good. I'm glad it was worth your time here this Friday morning. And I'm super glad that you are going to take action on this. Send those pictures that you took. Teach your family. Spread the word. Let's surround ourselves with people who are emotionally stable. Let's help the people around us so they can be emotionally stable. And then I'll put these links up here one last time. Choose where you want to have a plan, and I'll be there for you. Awesome, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on this call. We did good. I'm really proud, really tickled with our conversation here today, and tickled with questions. And I wish so bad I had another hour to go through all those questions. But I hope you gain value from what we have here. Good. So as a way of saying goodbye, click the raise the hand button. I'll wave to you. You wave to me. You know I'm here. I believe you're there. We stay connected. Let's, as a human race, rise up and bring the balance to what's going on. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.